A 1.65-meter-tall alien mummy with 6 fingers and reddish-orange skin was supposedly found on a secret 1976 moon mission and is currently hidden somewhere on Earth. Millions of people believed this story so completely that when scientists debunked it, they reacted with fury and accused NASA of covering up the truth. Here's the twist. The entire story was a deliberate hoax created by a French sculptor who openly admitted it was fiction, yet people continue sharing evidence of this lunar alien on social media today. The Apollo 20 and Monaliza Mummy conspiracy reveals something fascinating about human psychology and our desperate need to believe we're not alone in the universe. Let me tell you the full story that captivated millions. According to the conspiracy theory, NASA's official history is a lie. The Apollo program didn't end with Apollo 17 in 1972. There was a secret Apollo 20 mission in 1976, conducted jointly by American and Soviet astronauts. The story goes that earlier Apollo missions between 1969 and 1972 discovered scattered metal pieces on the lunar surface, leading to the shocking discovery of an ancient alien civilization on the far side of the moon. NASA supposedly found the remains of an entire alien city and made a decision that changed everything. Humanity wasn't ready for this truth, so the entire project was pushed underground. Apollo 20, led by Commander William Rutledge, was tasked with investigating a massive alien spacecraft wreck, 3,770 meters long, sitting inside a crater near the ancient city ruins. Inside this ship, in a protected cabin, they found what they called the Monaliza, a female alien mummy with reddish-orange skin and 6 fingers on both hands and feet. The conspiracy claimed that tests showed this alien had been there for approximately 26,000 years. She had bone fractures and internal bleeding, suggesting the spacecraft made a forced landing 26,000 years ago. The crew had urgently abandoned ship, leaving the seriously injured Monaliza behind in what appeared to be some kind of sleep chamber. According to the theory, this alien mummy was secretly brought back to Earth and is currently hidden in a classified facility while NASA maintains the public lie that we've never found evidence of extraterrestrial life. The Apollo 20 story exploded across the internet in 2007 when a YouTube channel called Retired AFB released a documentary with grainy footage of the mission, the alien spacecraft, and the Monaliza mummy itself. The video quality was deliberately poor, just authentic-looking enough to seem like leaked classified footage. The response was incredible. Millions of people shared the videos, defended their authenticity, and built entire communities around analyzing every frame of the supposed evidence. Social media amplified the story globally, with believers creating detailed analyses of the alien's anatomy, the spacecraft's design, and the geopolitical implications of U.S.-Soviet cooperation on lunar alien recovery. Here's what fascinates me about this phenomenon. People didn't just casually believe it, they became emotionally invested in it. When skeptics pointed out inconsistencies or lack of evidence, believers reacted with genuine anger. They accused NASA of being part of a massive cover-up and dismissed scientific explanations as government disinformation. The psychology at work here is remarkable. The story satisfied several deep human needs simultaneously: our desire to not be alone in the universe, our suspicion that governments hide important truths from us, and our fascination with ancient mysteries and lost civilizations. The Apollo 20 conspiracy also benefited from what I call plausible impossibility. It was specific enough to seem real, exact measurements, dates, names of astronauts, while being impossible to verify because everything was supposedly classified. Here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. The hoax was exposed not by investigators or debunkers, but by its own creators. The person behind the Retired AFB YouTube channel eventually confessed that the entire Apollo 20 story was fiction, created purely to attract attention. Even more definitively, a French sculptor named Thierry Speth came forward and admitted that the Monaliza alien mummy was actually one of his sculptures. He provided photos of similar work and explained how he created the alien figure that had fooled millions of people worldwide. You'd think this confession would end the conspiracy, right? Wrong. The admissions of fabrication were met with skepticism by believers who claimed the confessions were fake, coerced, or part of the larger cover-up. People had become so invested in the story that they preferred to believe the creators were lying about their lie rather than accept they'd been fooled. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below with your thoughts on why conspiracy theories persist even after debunking, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into viral phenomena. This reaction reveals something profound about how conspiracy theories work. Once people become emotionally invested in a narrative, contradictory evidence doesn't destroy the belief, it becomes incorporated into the conspiracy itself. The confession becomes proof of how powerful the cover-up really is. Even today, nearly 2 decades later, videos and images from the Apollo 20 hoax continue circulating on social media, with new believers discovering the story and sharing it as if it were breaking news.
Let's talk about why the Apollo 20 story is scientifically absurd, beyond just being an admitted hoax. The moon is one of the most hostile environments imaginable for life, let alone an advanced civilization. The moon has been bombarded by deadly solar radiation for hundreds of millions of years with no protective atmosphere. Its mass is only 15% of Earth's, making it impossible for liquid water to exist on its surface. The temperature difference between day and night is enormous. We're talking about extremes that would instantly kill any known form of life. But here's the logical question that conspiracy theorists never adequately address. If aliens were advanced enough to achieve interstellar travel and build massive spacecraft thousands of meters long, why would they choose the moon as a base? It's literally one of the worst possible locations in our solar system. Why not Earth, with its perfect conditions for life? Why not Mars, which at least has some atmosphere? Why not the moons of Saturn and Jupiter, which have subsurface oceans and more protection from radiation? The idea that advanced aliens would set up shop on the moon makes about as much sense as humans choosing to build a civilization in the middle of Antarctica without any protective equipment. The Apollo 20 hoax isn't unique. It's part of a long tradition of lunar life fantasies that dates back centuries. In 1835, the New York Sun published a series of articles claiming that astronomer John Herschel had discovered life on the moon through his telescope, including giant cow-like creatures and bat-human hybrids called Vespertilio Homo, flying across the lunar surface. That story was also completely fictional, written by Richard Allen Locke as satire to increase newspaper sales. But just like the Apollo 20 story, many people believed it completely and were furious when it was revealed as a hoax. What's changed is the medium, not the psychology. Stories that once filled tabloid newspapers now spread through social media at light speed, reaching global audiences and creating communities of believers who reinforce each other's convictions. The Monaliza Mummy and Apollo 20 conspiracy teaches us something important about the digital age. Our tools for sharing information have evolved faster than our ability to critically evaluate that information. A French sculptor's art project became evidence of ancient aliens. A YouTube video became a documentary, and millions of people became convinced they were witnessing the greatest discovery in human history. The story reveals our deep desire to believe we're not alone in the universe, our suspicion of authority, and our willingness to accept extraordinary claims when they're packaged in familiar formats. The real lesson isn't about gullibility, it's about the power of storytelling and the importance of critical thinking in an age when anyone can create convincing evidence for almost anything.